Good morning and welcome to today's session of Imagine America Radio, our continuing Career College Exposition webinar series. My name is Bob Martin and I'm with the Imagine America Foundation. Joining me on today's session of Imagine America Radio is my foundation colleague, Lee Doubleday. Lee and I are extremely excited about today's career topic, the overlooked value of technical school certificates, sponsored by Universal Technical Institutes, or UTI. UTI is this country's leading provider of high-quality, career-focused education at 13 locations nationwide. UTI is also a 20-year sponsor of the Imagine America Scholarship and Award Programs, having now provided admissions-based financial aid to more than 16,000 enrolling Imagine America students. Thank you, UTI. Without taking valuable time from our presenter, let me refer any and all inquiries about the Imagine America Foundation to our website, www.imagine-america.org.
Since our beginning in 1999, Imagine America remains a leading sponsor of scholarship aid to enrolling high school students. However, our country faces a serious shortage in certified technicians. We hear from employers in virtually all sections of the country desperately looking for qualified employees, so we need to do more. Our partner, as Bob mentioned today, is Universal Technical Institute, and joining us today to discuss in detail the looming technician shortage and how UTI is helping meet this need is Dr. Stephen Coyle. Dr. Coyle is a nationally recognized expert with an extensive background in a K-12 background. But before turning the program over to Dr. Coyle, let me outline today's agenda. Today's session of Imagine America Radio will be 30 minutes maximum, with question and answers at the end of the presentation. All participants can submit questions while the presentation is in session via the Q&A feature in this Zoom meeting. At the end of the presentation, I'll present as many questions as possible and provide written responses and follow-up emails if necessary. We'll have a hard close at 10:30 a.m. So without taking any more time out of today's presentation, let me turn today's session over to Dr. Stephen Coyle. Dr. Coyle, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Bob and Lee, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking some time out of your morning to join me. Let's get right into our session today. A little bit about UTI and what we do and who we are. We are, as Lee said, we're the leading provider of technicians in the transportation industry. We have campuses all over the country. 14 campuses to be exact, 12 that are active right now and 2 that are coming, one in Austin, Texas, and one in South Florida. The national presence is very important because it allows students flexibility with their career choices. You would be hard pressed to walk into a dealership and say UTI and they wouldn't know who we are. And so that helps a lot for students to get employed into their chosen field after they attend our classes. We teach in 8 different STEM fields: auto, diesel, collision, motorcycle, marine, NASCAR, CNC, and welding. Now, those are our 8 main disciplines, but there are literally hundreds of careers within these 8. For instance, you might get somebody that they love cars, but they don't want to turn wrenches. So what could they do? Well, they could go to work as a claims adjuster for an insurance company. They love our graduates because not only do they know the outside of the car, but they know the inside of the car as well. When you hit a deer, you see all the dents and dings on the outside, but what you don't see are all the sensors and things that are damaged on the inside. So that would be a possibility. And I can go on and on. There are many others. So we really encourage students, and we do that with our personal interview with each candidate to see exactly what it is that they're looking for as a career pathway. What I'm most proud of is our industry relationships. We have over 35 industry partners. These are the big dogs of the industry, as I like to say: Ford, GM, Porsche, BMW, Toyota, all these companies. This is who we train our students for. We're not preparing students for Jiffy Lube. We're preparing students to go to work for these types of companies. And why is because these are very strong, stable companies. They definitely need technicians, and they offer great benefits and pay very well. But what I'm really here to talk to you about today is you, and how you relate to your students, how you relate to parents, you know, all these things that are going on today. The first thing I love to talk about is skills. And of course, that's what we do. We're involved in skilled trades, but there's more skills than that. To succeed in the modern economy today, students need both of these. And that's what I really want to point out on this slide is that sometimes we tend to pit one against the other. Well, I've got specific technical skills, or I've got general education application skills, or what we often call soft skills. I either have one or the other. In reality, you need both. You know, the technical skills that you need, of course, all employers are looking for that. They're looking for skills. What can you do? What do you bring to the table? And so those are important, but also with that, the people skills that go with that, to be able to communicate with each other. You've all been, you know, in restaurants and stores. It seems like the customer service has just fallen by the wayside because people don't have those skills. They just don't know how to talk to people, how to engage them, that kind of thing. So it's important that we produce students that have both of these, because when you're working on somebody's car, that's one thing, but then you have to go talk to that customer and say, hey, here's what's going on with your vehicle. Here's what we need to do to fix it. Here's how much it's going to cost. You have to be able to communicate with them to convey that important information, and plus develop trust. So these two go hand in hand with each other. You may be surprised by this in the next slide, because you may think that your students are all going off to college. You know, they're telling you, I'm going off to, but what you have to realize is what they're actually doing when they go off, because almost all certificate programs, 94% to be exact, and nearly 3 out of 5 associate degree programs are awarded in career-oriented fields. They're not going off and getting the bachelor's degree or the master's degree as you might think they are. They're actually looking for a career. They're looking for skills. They want to get started. And in this next slide, it also depicts that as well. About 50% of students taking undergraduate coursework are enrolled in certificate and associate degree programs. You know, students, you know how they are today. They're quick. They want instant gratification, instant feedback. If they text you and you don't text back right away, they're done with you. It's that simple. And so it's the same way with their education process. Now, there are students that are willing to go to college for 4 or 5 or 6 years, go on and get a master's degree and so on, because that's their chosen career pathway. But many of your students are not that patient. They want to get in, get out, and get into a career and start making money. And that's what we have to recognize. When I do counselor presentations at State Counselor Association conferences, I talk a lot about the fact that that students, you know, they want that quick way out. They want to get out. They want to start making money. You know, these guys, they're very afraid of student debt. They don't want to take on a lot of that because they saw that with their parents. And so they want to avoid that, but they want to get into something where they can get in quick. And then the other thing that you as educators, you have to learn to read these kids to find out who these kids are, identify them. You know, we have the road maps. When we go down the road, we all know what a stop sign is, a yield sign is, all those kind of things. We have to look at that with our students as well. Are they telling us what they want to do, what they want to be? Because oftentimes they are, and we ignore those signals because we're trying to mold them into something we want them to be rather than what they want to be. The other thing that I want you to look for when you're looking at technical certificate programs, you want to look for 3 categories: industry relationships, occupationally focused curriculum, and employment assistance. Now, here's what I mean by each one of these. The industry relationships, that's what I alluded to earlier when I showed you our alliances with our manufacturers. We have 37 to be exact, and that number continues to grow. Those industry relationships are huge because that's where the curriculum is coming from, and that is who we're getting the students prepared to go to work for. The occupationally focused curriculum, the type of students that are looking for these programs are not into Greek mythology and 20th century world literature. They're just not. Now, that doesn't mean that those disciplines are bad, that they're not valuable. I'm not saying that at all. But for these particular students, they're not looking for that. They're looking for a specific skill. They don't want any nonsense, anything along the on those lines. They want to get right in and get after, because that's what they're into. You can look at their transcript and you can see they're all over the board: C, D, C, B, C, D, A. Well, what are those A's in? They're career center classes, because that's what they're really into. And then finally, employment assistance. We don't feel like we're done here at UTI until we help students get placed into their chosen field. Then we're done. And the other thing is that goes hand in hand with industry relationships. And that goes hand in hand with occupationally focused curriculum, because that's what these dealerships are looking for. What are you bringing to the table? What skills do you have to offer that's going to help them to advance as a dealership, and where they can spend minimal time and minimal money getting you trained, because you already have that training as well. So make sure that you look for all three of these disciplines when you're looking for these programs. I'm going to switch gears just a little bit and talk about a program that we're really excited about and we're partnering with, called Ignite Worldwide. Ignite is an acronym: Inspiring Girls Now in Technology Evolution. What we've seen here at UTI is that about 4% of our population is female. Not real proud to say that, but we're not the only school that says that, because we're in what seems to be a very male-dominated area. We're trying to change that. And so we found Ignite Worldwide, which is trying to inspire girls to get into STEM CTE level courses, showing them that there's a way. And what I love best about this program is their motto: you can't be what you can't see. You think about that for a little bit. Who do these girls have to look up to? How many of you in the audience right now know of a female plumber, a female welder, a female carpenter, a female auto or diesel technician? I can go on and on. You drive down the road, you see road construction going on, and there's skilled technicians there working on that. And how many girls do you see? Very seldom do you see one. And when you do see one, it's more like it's a novelty. Oh my gosh, look, they've got a woman working there. Wow. And it shouldn't be that way, because these STEM careers are good for all of your students. There's definitely a skills gap out there, and we have to learn to close it. And so one of the ways we need to do is to attract females into this arena. Kathy Rajveller is the CEO and founder of Ignite Worldwide, and she started this back in 1998 in the Seattle schools, and has made tremendous progress with it. And so we wanted to partner with them, because we feel like that we can help promote Ignite Worldwide, but we can also help to promote more girls getting into STEM related fields. And so it's really a 4-part process. The first part is panels, what we do. And in fact, we just had an Ignite Worldwide event at the NASCAR Tech Campus just last week, had over 100 girls there. But the first thing we do is we assemble a panel of women in STEM. These are women who are successful, because once again, you can't be what you can't see. So we want these girls to see what these women have done, how they got to where they are, get to ask questions. So they can find out, hey, is this something I can do? Because they're going to be shy about it. They're going to be, skeptical about it, because it's new. The second part, field trips. Get these girls out to local companies. We bring them to our schools so they can see a true STEM school in action. But we also want to get them into dealerships and places so they can see, hey, here is what you could do. Here's what you could be. Then the third part, workshops. Once again, how do these girls know what they might want to do if they haven't experienced it before? So you put a welding torch in their hand. We have welding simulators so that they can practice. They can see that they might have talent and might be something they like doing. So we try to expose them to STEM activities to see if there is an interest there. And once again, how are they going to know if they've never experienced it before? And then number 4, we try to promote conferences where we have breakout sessions where girls can actually go in, visit with other girls that are interested, see that they're not alone. Because oftentimes they tend to think, they're kind of the odd person out. And in reality, there's several girls. And so when you put them together, the strength in numbers thing, they encourage and inspire each other. So we promote that as well too. The STEM program is getting very well known. National Science Foundation, the Anita Borg Social Impact Award, 2007, the Department of Education recognized the program. So it is gaining momentum. So we are very proud to be part of this and helping to inspire more girls to get into STEM related careers. Here's a statistic that really caught our eye. And this is what Kathy shared with us. This is over a 4-year span. In 2013, in the Seattle schools, there were less than 5% of girls involved in STEM trades. This wasn't much interest, but once again, they weren't exposed to any of it. So from the next 3 years, they were exposed to STEM activities, STEM careers, given the opportunity to try some of these things out. And the number jumped to over 50% in 3 years. That's pretty amazing. But really, it's not that surprising because, when you show them what's available out there, they get excited about it. It's fun to host these events and see these girls getting excited about the possibility of them being, a welder or, a diesel technician, auto technician, or, whatever skilled trades it might be. But these opportunities out there. So what we're finding is they've just never been presented with the opportunity. So by presenting that to them, it's giving them hope and inspiration to do that. We love to offer resources to help students to get to where they want to be. We work with youth groups like FFA, with Skills USA, with Hot Rodders of Tomorrow, with the Top Tech Challenge, trying to show students that, hey, skilled trades are fun and they're lucrative. And they're in demand, no doubt about it. It's just the skilled trades are huge right now, for what we need in this country. But we also work with foundations like Imagine America that's providing this webinar format for us, offering the scholarships and the other scholarship programs that we have. And then the alliances we have with the manufacturers. I'm so excited about the newest one up there in your upper left-hand corner, AGCO Corporation and Fendt Tractors. We're going to be with them next week at the FFA National Convention in Indianapolis, Indiana. So we're really excited about that because it's going to show students how education and industry partner. If you want to work for a company like this, here's where you can get the education. We're getting ready to open our Fendt lab at the Lisle campus. So we're really excited about that as well. So just a lot of opportunities out there available to help students to achieve their dreams and their goals. We offer over $15 million in scholarships. Now, I would challenge anybody that's on this today to, if you know how to get students to fill out scholarships, please email me and let me know, because we're trying to figure that out. And I think you guys are too. It's just sometimes tough for kids to fill out scholarships for whatever reason. We do offer them. But what I'm most proud of is our tuition reimbursement incentive program, or otherwise TRIP. Our TRIP program, we work with hundreds of employers, dealerships across the country, and they hire our students. And then what they do is they offer those students a package to give them incentive to come to work for them. Hey, they're all competing for the same kids, the same technicians out there. And so they've got to make their dealership look a little better than the dealership next door. So they're offering these packages. These packages include things like student loan repayment assistance. They'll pay our students on top of their salary an additional $200, $300, $400 a month. That way they can pay off that student loan. Hiring incentive packages, sign-on bonuses, boot allowances. They offer tool allowances. These are very valuable to the students because they're just getting started. They're 19 years old coming out of UTI and they need some help there. Many of them don't have all the tools that they need and all the equipment they need. And so these employers are willing to invest that in them. It seems to really be working because our graduation rate has steadily climbed because of this. Or I think a lot of it is because of this, because of the it gives students a light at the end of the tunnel. It gives them an incentive, something to work towards. And that seems to really inspire them to want to complete their programs. But once again, it's not for, not just anybody's going to get this. There's a catch. You have to work hard. You have to go to class every day. You have to show professionalism. You have to make good grades, because BMW, Porsche, GM, they're not going to take just anybody. They want the best they can get their hands on. So it's important for that. So 2 major takeaways today. Number 1, high school counselors and educators can strengthen all post-secondary education pathways, including certificate programs. We have to remember as educators that all of our students are important. CTE and skilled trades are not plan B anymore. We shouldn't treat them that way. For years, it was like, well, if the doctor thing doesn't work out, you can always be a plumber. Well, if you're you don't get into vet school, that's okay. You can work on cars instead. That it's always become like I said, plan B or the alternative route. That's just not true any longer. We have to treat all of our career pathways equal. You have students in your schools that are hands-on learners. They're project-based learners, and you have to recognize that with those students. That and what they do is just as important as the student that's going to go on to become a teacher or a nurse or a computer programmer or something like that. These are just as important. We have to treat them that way. The second takeaway is higher education leaders are instrumental in enabling students to acquire education beyond high school. We have to remember that although we do have students that go on to work right after high school, and some of them are very successful, really the statistics bear out that they need some kind of training. Remember, what are employers looking for? They are looking for skills. What do you bring to the table? And the more skills you have, the more marketable you are. And so when you look at a program that's, like they want to go to work into a dealership of some type, and they come out of a program where they've attained a certain number of credentials, like for instance, with our graduates, they walk out with up to 80% of the credentials they're going to need. That's huge to an employer, because that's going to save them time and money on those students to get them prepared, so they can make an impact to that dealership right away. And so that's important too. So those are really the 2 key takeaways I want you to get today. I'm going to close with the fact that I'm a retired educator. I know exactly what you guys do on a daily basis. I've been there, done that, and bought the t-shirt. So I know what you do. I can't imagine what you went through this past year with the COVID stuff. Fortunately, I never had to deal with anything like that in my educational career. But, you guys did a great job. We know what you're doing in there. We know that you're talking to students about, supply and demand with careers. We know you're talking to them about scholarships. You're talking to them about career readiness and career pathways. We know you're doing that. All we want to do is partner with you to strengthen that message, to show from a post-secondary standpoint of what's out there for students. We love to host your students like at open houses. In fact, we're going to be having a national open house on November the 13th. It's on a Saturday, and we invite all educators. We invite their students. We invite parents to come in so they can experience what we offer. But we also bring those to you as well. We do live and virtual presentations in career pathways, career readiness, STEM, all these things. Our workshops are not UTI infomercials. We want to speak to all of your students about all the possibilities that are out there. Some of your students are heading for the colleges and universities, and that's okay. We want to tell them about that too. But some of the students, they're gonna be looking for a skilled trades opportunity, for a trade school of some kind, something like a UTI, where they can get a quicker training and get into the field that they want to get into. We love to have you at our campuses, to show you what we offer. We offer tours of all kinds. Hank Powell, who's the regional missions director at the NASCAR Tech campus in Mooresville, wanted me to announce that starting in January of 2022, We're going to be opening up our welding program there. They're very excited about that. Our welding program has proven to be huge, and there's usually a wait list to get into it. So just wanted to let you know about that as well. We want to explain to you about scholarship opportunities. We have a truck and trailer that we can bring out to your school to do STEM activities with your students. We just want to partner with you in some way possible, just to help you. And everything we offer is free. I do professional development for school districts as well. So if you need some help there with that, I'll be glad to work with you. And once again, those opportunities are free. And here's my contact information. This is my email address. I think you had my phone number from earlier in the presentation. But I'd love to hear your questions, your comments. Reach out to me. Feel free to do that. I just want to thank you for spending part of your morning with me, and hopefully you picked up some tidbits today. And I wish you the best of luck for the rest of your school year. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Dr. Coyle. We are now going to open this up for the Q&A portion of our presentation. So if you have a question for Dr. Coyle, please indicate so in the Q&A. I've also thrown up a poll question. If you'd like somebody to contact you about presenting similar information to your students, please indicate so in the poll so that we know who to reach out to after the presentation is over. So Dr. Coyle, we did have a question come in. This person wants to know if they would like to contact or they would like to talk to a local UTI representative. Should they go to the website or just contact yourself directly?
Well, either one is fine. If you go to the website, there'll be a little box there where you make an inquiry and you just put in there your name, your contact information, and what you're looking for. If you're looking for a career readiness workshop, if you're looking for a STEM workshop, whatever, and then the rep for that area, for your territory, will get back with you and then set that up with you. Okay. The other way, though, if that's too complicated for you, is just email me. You've got my email address, scoyle@uti.edu, or call me, text me, whatever, carrier pigeon, whatever you got, I'll take it. And I'd love to set that up for you. All you have to do is just let me know what give me your contact information, and I'll direct that to the right person.
Okay, great. Now this person wants to know about Title IV funding and whether or not students can fill out a FAFSA to help them go to school with you.
Yeah, and I always forget to mention that, so thank you for whoever asked that question. Yes, we are Title IV funded. So we do require students to fill out the FAFSA to see if they qualify for financial aid, and then we offer Pell Grants. We also offer, as I said earlier, grants and scholarships to students. You'll have a financial aid advisor that will work with the student and their family to make the education affordable for them.
Hey, Dr. Coyle, Bob back in. Quick question, we get it every time. Comparisons between programs and cost with technical and community colleges. Can you talk about that a little bit, please?
Absolutely, and we do get this question all the time, and it's a fair question. We're not trying to compete against community colleges or anything like that at all. We're all working together to try to solve this skills gap. But the three letters you got to keep in mind are ROI, the return on investment. That is so huge. Something may look cheaper on the outside, but in reality is not. So I look at three things. Number one, the length of the program. You're going to be at the community college 2 to 3 years. It's just that simple fact. You're going to be at UTI 9 to 17 months. We get in, get out, get done. We don't take spring breaks. We don't take summers off because the industry doesn't. So we don't either. And so students in reality will be out into their chosen field by the age of 19, while they'll still be at the community college getting more training. The second part are the alliances with the manufacturers. Yes, there are community colleges that may have 1 or 2 alliances. We have 37. We work with companies all over the country, to help our students to get the proper training that they're going to need. And these companies, they rely on us to get those technicians to them. So the demand is huge there. And then third is the trip package I just talked to you about. That is huge for students, because they can potentially get their education paid for. But as I said, there's a catch. They've got to work hard while they're in school. They've got to earn it. But it's, but the results are very good, because if they're willing to do that, they're going to get their education covered for them.
Yeah, great. Absolutely great points, Dr. Coyle. enjoy listening to you. I think the ROI thing is something that we need to drive home, which is it makes complete sense, which is if you're a counselor or an educator that has an individual that wants to get in, get out and get working, UTI is a very good option because they're going to have you out soon and earning money, doing what you want to do in the environments you want to. And then the other option thing that my takeaway personally is you got such a national reach, which gives the ability of the student, if they're in North Carolina or South Carolina, wherever they may be now, if they want to go to California, they want to go to Arizona, they want to go to Michigan, they want to move, they're going to have a very easy transition with the UTI certificate, right, Dr. Coyle?
That's exactly right. We just try to provide a, we're another opportunity for them out there, but we're definitely geared towards that project-based learner that you have in your schools.
Now, before we close, Ali, any other questions?
No.
Okay, great. I just want to remind our audience that the foundation has recorded this session and is going to be forwarding that recording to each and every one of the registrants. Also that Imagine America has a section on our website, which I said before was www.imagine-america.org with very specific download instructions. So this gives you an opportunity to revisit what was discussed today, whether it was Dr. Coyle or whether it was women in STEM careers or whether it's the value of a certificate program. You get a chance to do it at your own convenience, at your own pace. And then finally, my colleague, Lee Doubleday, is going to come up with a survey, send it to you, give you an opportunity to give us feedback on, did you like this session? Should we do more? If we do more, maybe you've got some topics you'd like us to cover. Before closing, we really want to thank the educators that have joined us today. As Dr. Coyle mentioned, we really do appreciate you taking time out of your very, very busy schedule to spend a little time with us and listen to today's presentation. Also, I'd like to thank Dr. Coyle for taking time out of his schedule to do this presentation. He's outstanding. I would personally encourage you, each and every one of you, to contact him directly with any other questions that you may have, or whether it's about UTI or just whether it's about high school seniors in general. Dr. Coyle is a great resource. On behalf of the Imagine America Foundation, Lee Doubleday and myself, we want to thank you and hope you have a great day. Goodbye.